I would say yes. Now, yeah, it's part of my family too, right? I mean, you may have guessed that that's in there, and so, um, and and we've been to and through a lot of programs. Halfway houses, treatment programs, this, that, other thing, and court ordered, all of this stuff. But there's many more programs like that, halfway houses and therapeutic programs for people than there was back in my day when I was working in it. It became a big problem. And then when it started coming into the white neighborhoods, as it were, I came from like a white working class neighborhood, and I remember um, telling a story on myself, having getting some pot with my friend and a couple of friends who were women. We were in college, I guess, and one of the women we were with, she was the driver of the car. We were going to the drive-in, and we were going to smoke pot at the drive-in, and we were going to see the Wild Ones or something like that, um, her father was the head of uh, the vice department at the Worcester Police Department, and he told her, "There's no drugs in Worcester." And here we were. It was like, is he kidding? But the thing was, it hadn't, the black neighborhoods, the poor neighborhoods were probably infested with other kind. Pot was not such a big deal even then. It was a big deal in terms of crime, but not in terms of anything else. But so it wasn't until, short time later when it was like suddenly it was everywhere. The headlines, heroin, that was a big downers, sucking all. I don't even remember all the names of them, but I was dealing with the kids. One time I showed up, this neighborhood program I was running, and I decided I would take the kids to a concert. I was working in my neighborhood, and the college that I had just graduated from, Worcester State College at the time, now university, was on the other side of town, the somewhat more upscale part of town, and the west side. We were on the east side. So I said, I'm going to take you to it. I had a Ford Falcon. The woman that worked with me had I don't know what kind of car she had. Anyway, we had 17 kids who said they wanted to come, and I showed. And because I had been the president of the student government, I had free tickets. That's why I said I could take. I got free tickets. Okay, so I pick them. I go there. I pick them up, and they're all hanging around in front of the friendly house was what it was called. I had gone there as a kid, and it was an old three-decker converted. And Maureen, forget what her last name is now. I want to say Connolly, but Maureen said, "John, I got to talk to you." And I said, "What?" She said, she was the youngest one there. She was probably 12, 13. She said, "John, everybody here is on acid." And I said, "You're kidding." She said, "Everybody." And you? Yes. 17 kids on LSD. I'm taking them across town to go to a Sha Na Na concert. And we did. And it went well because they were not in their territory and they were a little intimidated by college kids and all that kind of thing. So they stuck near us and they didn't do anything dumb. They didn't really understand Sha Na Na though. They said, "Boy, that guy's fat. He shouldn't be in it." Things like that.